Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So if you remember last week I made a start of my DVD collection Watch-a-thon, and I have been watching some more episodes. So in today's video I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the next few that I've watched. If you haven't seen the first video guys, the first few episodes that I've watched, I'll put the link in the description below, so please go watch that one first. And here goes. So last time's video ended on the Sensorites, and I started this time with the Reign of Terror. Now this one's a 6-episode or 6-part story. It for me was a little bit long. I think it started off alright and then it just kind of dragged on a bit. The animation for the 2 episodes, it's not the greatest animation in the world, but it's nice that they could do that, so we could essentially see what it would have been like back in the 60s. It's not the greatest episode in the world. I did kind of feel that it got a bit boring towards the end. It could have been a 4-parter rather than a 6. But then I guess it's not made for binge watching all in one go. Okay, so next we've got the Planet of Giants. I really like this one. It's just a bit of fun. They kind of get shrunk in size because of what happens in the TARDIS. I don't really feel like they had much to do with the plot. There was this whole thing with insecticide and the 2 giants. They didn't really know the Doctor was there, so I don't think they had much to do with the plot. But nevertheless, this is still a nice story. It's just a bit of fun, it's a nice 3-part episode. Nice story. Nice story. Next one we have is the Dalek Invasion of Earth. Now this is a really great story. From the get-go, it's when that Dalek pops his head out of the water, it just starts off so well, and it keeps going. It keeps with the action all the way through. It's a nice ending for Susan as well, that iconic scene at the end where the Doctor says goodbye to her. I think often now that scene is played a bit too much in Doctor Who, but yeah, no, it's a nice scene nonetheless. Also, I think each companion comes into their own in this one. Like Barbara, Susan, they all, and Ian, they all sort of go off and kind of become a Doctor of their own, almost. They kind of have got their own companions with them. They're off, all 3 of them, at one point, doing different things, like seeing different aspects of the story and doing their own sort of thing. It is a really great story, I have to say. It did end a bit abruptly. I think it just sort of was like, oh, the Daleks are being killed, and then it was the end. I was like, oh, is that it? But yeah, really great story, really great story. It would have been nice to have been seen, because the Daleks had already taken over the Earth. It would be nice to see how they actually did it in the first place. But no, it was a nice take on seeing the fact that they already had invaded, and the Doctor was trying to stop them invading further. Really, really great story, that one. Now then, next one we got is The Rescue. This is a nice short story, nice quick 2-parter which introduces the new companion of Vicky. I quite like Vicky so far so good. I think she is more of her own self. She goes and does things off her own back. I think Susan, I'm not saying I hated Susan, I didn't like Susan, but she kind of hid behind the Doctor most of the time. Oh grandfather. She was always relying on the Doctor for her to protect her all the time. She didn't really have her own role. I don't think she was always too scared the whole time. Even Ian and Barbara, Susan would be hiding behind. I'm not saying I didn't like Susan, but Vicky is a great character. She really takes it into her own, and she is her own character. She goes off and does things on her own. I guess she has to, because she's been stuck on this planet for however long she's been stuck there for. But really nice two parts of that one. Really nice to introduce Vicky. Next one we got then is the Romans. A nice historical episode, as with the Reign of Terror and the Aztecs. This one's a nice one. This one is really nice. It kind of separates the companions again. They seem to do this quite a lot in this sort of era. Like Barbara and Ian were off doing one thing, and the Doctor and Vicky were doing another thing, as it turns out, in the same place. And it was quite fun to see they were in the same place and just kept missing each other. Really great outfits as well in this one. They do wear some great costumes. So yeah, really nice story, that one. And finally for today's video we have the Web Planet. Again, with the Reign of Terror, I think it was a bit too long. I really started to enjoy it first 2-3 episodes. I think it could have been cut down to 4. When I got to episode 5 I kind of thought, this is kind of dragging on a bit. But saying that, the Menoptera, as you can see on the front of the case there, they look absolutely perfect. They look brilliant. They absolutely really do. It was a nice story. Again, Barbara and Ian, they go off on their own. I think they are their own characters now. They don't need the Doctor to be themselves. They do go off and do their own thing, and they can hold their own. But yeah, really nice story, that one. I'd give that a middle of the road score. It's a really nice planet as well. Nice to see a different planet. And yeah, that is it that I've watched so far. I've got the Space Museum coming up next, and then the Chase, obviously. Now, I'm a bit disappointed really for the 1960s era that a lot of them are missing, so I won't be able to see certain things. I don't know if I'll be able to see Barbara and Ian leaving the TARDIS in the end, of Vicky, and the start of Dodo and Stephen Taylor. I don't know, we'll get there and see. But I think it's great that they have animated some of the Patrick Troughton episodes. It just gives us a chance to see what it would have been like to see those episodes in the 60s. It may not be perfect, as I said, with the Reign of Terror, but it's a lot better than, I think, watching the telesnaps that were on the Lost in Time box set. I don't think I necessarily watched them in that, because they don't have all the episodes available. I'm only going to be watching the full episodes. I will be watching the animated ones they have made previously, the Power of the Daleks, the Faceless Ones, Fear from the Deep, for example. But we'll get there when we get there. So I've got the Space Museum and the Chase coming up next. I will be making another video next week to update on my progress. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these episodes, what you think of this era. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. And that's been me, Sam P, over and out.